Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ed for me, and in today's video we're going to be installing the swivel screen so that I could turn this screen towards the driver or towards the passenger. Let's get started. So I got this off of testplus.com. If you guys want, I have a discount code available for you guys. It's $250, but you get 15% off, which saves you quite a bit of chunk of money. So if you guys are interested in installing this into your own Tesla Model 3 or Model Y after you watch this video, please use my link. It helps me out in terms of giving you guys more content, and it also helps you guys out because you guys save some money. All right, let's get started. First thing that you have to do is put the vehicle into screen clean mode. This is the kit right here. The instructions are in color. Very simple to follow. I already read it over just to see how difficult this install would be. All right, so I'm going to leave these instructions here so I can refer to them. First thing is to use the screws to pry the trim panel underneath the screen from the gap. So let me give you guys a view of what that looks like down here. So this is underneath your screen. This is your screen right here, and this is underneath your screen. This right here is where the temperature sensor is, and this is where we pry to get this screen off. Just comes right down, and then we have to unplug this temperature sensor. Alright, so this is what it looks like. This is the screen with the temperature sensor right here. Okay, so you can see it here. There's two 10mm screws that we have to get out. These two 10mm bolts are basically the only thing holding the screen onto where it is right now. So after we take this off, we should be able to remove the entire screen. Now I have to take the screen off. All right, there's no turning back. It's like one side is out. And, oh, there we go. So just gonna lay the screen down here a little bit upside down. Okay, and then there's a white buckle over here. I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, this is the piece that we have to take out next, this white buckle right here. We'll take that out and then we'll unplug the screen. Okay, so the best way I found to take it out is just grab it from the back right here and pull straight up, and it came out just fine. Alright, now we have to press on the purple here. On this side, you can see it right there. There's a tab. You just press it in. That's it. So just press right here, and then this will come out. So now the screen is completely off. That's our screen right there. Leave it off to the side for a second. We have to install the mounting bracket, which basically allows the swiveling onto the original mounting points. This side over here will eventually connect back onto our screen, and then this side goes into our mounting point. So we're just going to line it up and put back the original 10mm. Okay, that's pretty much snug in there, so I'll tighten down these 10mm bolts, both sides. Very good. Okay, before we put the screen back on, we have to take off this bezel here because we'll have a leather cover. So if you look here, you can actually see that there are two Torx bolts right here, one here, and they have to come out. So they are T27. Okay, and then this entire bezel just kind of comes out like that. Now we are going to put two small brackets which end up holding our leather cover later on. So these two guys have the little Velcro on them. We could just use what they supplied already, which is this, which is using a hex bit. Alright, this tightens down here. It's 5mm. Now we can put the screen back on. Alright, so in order to put our screen back on, it has to line up. So we kind of have to back out these screws here. And just gonna line it up through this hole here. And then tighten it down on one side. Just by hand first. What I've done is just installed one side and I haven't tightened it down all the way. But I am going to turn back on the screen by plugging it in. And then putting the white bracket back on it as well. And then, yep, after plugging that back in, luckily the screen still works. That would be very scary if I plugged that back in and it didn't work. Now I'm gonna line up this other hole. Okay, and then in order to tighten this down, I think they're 13mm. Yep. So as you tighten it down, the screen will kind of self-position itself. And I'm supposed to push it all the way back before tightening it down all the way. And well, that looks like it's basically done. Now the last thing that I have to do is use this zip tie over here to install my temperature sensor onto this leather cover. So this is where the temperature sensor goes, and you're supposed to Velcro this around it like that. See, the only problem I'm having, I think, is that this temperature sensor is a little bit different than what this kit was intended for. Maybe they made a change to the temperature sensor. So I think this is supposed to be facing this way, but the Velcro can't reach around it, so I'm just actually going to turn it off to its side. Which should be okay actually, because looking at how the original part was designed, it looks like the temperature sensor sits kind of inside the dash anyway. It usually sits behind this screen over here to kind of, I guess, filter out any drafts. So similar ideas, the air will go in here and that will be where the temperature sensor goes. And then now I'm just going to take this double-sided sticker which has Velcro on it off here and here, and then I'm going to plug in my temperature sensor, and we're just going to wrap around the entire thing and kind of tuck this part in just to kind of hide the exposed hardware. Alright, so now hold to exit the screen cleaning mode, and there we go. Now I can turn the screen towards me when I'm driving, or I could turn it to the passenger and turn it like that. So that's basically it for the install. Actually, this was not that bad. I think the hardest part about this was just taking the time to wrap this leather piece surrounding the dash correctly and making it look nice. Otherwise, it really is just a matter of, taking out a couple of mounting bolts and then just installing, an adapter, which is basically what it does. Just so you guys know, this mounting kit is very sturdy. You could turn it all the way on either side and it doesn't touch the dash. The screen sits just a little bit lower than where it did before. And when you're using the screen, it won't actually, turn on you. So that's good. And then definitely when you're driving, it'll stay exactly where you had it prior, because it requires quite a bit of force in order to actually turn. And I'm not 100% sure if it's actually adjustable in terms of how much force you need to turn the screen, but just out of the box, it's exactly where I would think I would want it. It requires, an actual some force in order to actually turn it, which is perfect. That's basically it for the video today. Like I said, link in the description if you want to grab one of these kits for yourself. I think that, you know, this is definitely something that Tesla should have came out with. It seems like a lot of the mods that I do to this car are mods that I wish Tesla came out with originally. But it just creates a little more driver orientation and then passenger orientation. And most of the time you're driving on your own, it'd be better if the screen was facing you anyway. If you guys have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.